Afternoon again. For those of you that are still eating, please continue to eat as I make a few introductions prior to the start of the program. I would like to welcome today's dignitaries. We have with us Lompoc City Mayor Janelle Osborne, City Manager Dean Albro, City Council members Gilda Cordova, Jeremy Ball, Victor Vega, and Dirk Starbuck. From Congressman Salud Carvajal's office, we have Wendy Mota. From Supervisor Joan Hartman's office, we have Alma Hernandez. And from U.S. Senator Dianne Feinstein's office, we have Geneva Monteleone. We have with us Lompoc Fire Chief Alicia Welch, Lompoc Police Chief Joe Mariani, Lompoc Unified District Superintendent Trevor McDonald. In addition, I would like to introduce and acknowledge the Lompoc Valley Chamber board members that are present. We have our chairman, Chuck Madsen. Directors working the front desk is Pamela Hudson, Luis Castaneda, Johnny Hudson, and we have with us Caitlin Boyle. Not present, we have Megan Raff, Candace McIntosh, Rob Klug, and Justin Charbonneau. We also have with us Mr. Tim Harrington. So again, welcome. Thank you guys for being here, and I would now like to turn the program over to City Manager Dean Albro.
Well, thank you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to come here and talk about the city of Lompoc, city I love, my hometown. That's something I'm very proud of. And, oh, we got a video we're going to start off with.
Let's tune in to what's happening in Lompoc.
Alrighty, you got it? Alright, let's go and slice it. And there we go. Oh, look at that! Yay! Awesome.
So many things that I'm working on, and I'm super excited about all our movement forward, and I'm super excited to work with everybody, and it's definitely a pleasure and honor. Thank you.
Awesome.
I am really happy to be here serving you and this community.
And we invite you to be able to check out books, movies, music, or just relax with us this summer.
So I would love to see you guys here. Come on down. It's a beautiful day.
But we've gotten some classes back. We're getting one of our exercises classes back. We've got bridge back. We've got our TOPS program back. We've got Tai Chi. We have our grief counseling class that happens on Thursdays, which is very much needed in the community during COVID time when people lost quite a few of their loved ones.
Positions that we're hiring for, part-time, full-time, we want to get you in at the city of Lompoc. So come stop by our table, grab some swag, and we hope to see you here.
I know with all of our hard work, your support and investment, we can make sure Lompoc is more than just a place you have pride in, but a place you brag about.
I want to say thank you to Samantha Scroggs and Aaron Keller and William for putting this together. You guys did a great job. I want to introduce, we have some great staff here, and I want to introduce, there's Christy right there, our new Management Service Director, Finance Director, Treasurer. We got a couple other new faces here. Alicia Welch is our Fire Chief. And CJ Berry, our Utility Director. So I just want to do a quick update to how our budget is doing, and I know you're probably thinking how exciting can that be, but right now I think it's probably one of the most exciting things that's happening at the city. If you look at this graph here, you'll see fiscal year 2020 was one of the worst years that we had, and we were actually the lowest reserves in the whole state of California. But our council was smart enough to know that we needed to do something, and they proposed a 1-cent sales tax, and our citizens agreed at 69.3% success. We were also able to refinance our CalPERS debt, and in June we'll have 13 years left, and we'll have that paid off, which that'll make the city very sustainable. We're actually able to fill all our general fund positions. We're able to actually add a sworn officer, getting rid of a captain and adding 2 lieutenants, so we can succession plan, and we can be more proactive instead of reactive and get out there and get in the community. We're also able to bring back all the eliminated positions in community development and fill all our rec department. If you get out in the parks, you'll see that the parks look great. And Christy, Mario, Danny, you guys are doing a great job. We also got 12.9 awarded to us. We haven't drawn it all in from the ARPA funds. And so that's a big thing that we can use for capital improvements, along with a balanced budget. We're able to, trying to keep track of where I am. We're actually able to get funding for 2 frontline engines, 8 police cars, replace the 30-year-old SWAT van, and we're also able to get a motorcycle so we can re-implement the traffic officer. So if you guys are speeders, just saying, watch out. We also last week got some funding to fix our aquatic center, replace our radios, and we had some money left over. We're going to do some park improvements too, so there'll be a lot of improvements, and like I said, I think the budget's pretty exciting. So I was able to go to the state of the base, and they had this video here, and I thought it was such a cool video. I asked them if we could use it, and Colonel Long and his team said sure, so I want to thank them. And I want to thank you guys for letting me talk too. I want to turn over to the mayor after this video. Thank you.
I am still constantly amazed at what goes on in our backyard. Every time there's a launch, it is amazing. And we're about to have another one tomorrow morning. And it is supposed to also include a landing. So again, every time we get to experience this, it is one more point of pride about our local community and the fact that Vandenberg here is in our hometown. So I really appreciate that partnership with the base. And as part of it, we, where'd the slide go? There we go. It disappeared again. Things aren't moving forward. Oh, yay, there we go. So as part of our relationship of being a partner with the base, we received a grant to study our ability to help the base be more sustainable and resilient. As part of that, the staff, myself, and the city manager attended the Association of Defense Communities Conference, and that allowed us time with our representatives and the DoD and different branches to discuss how do we be a better partner. That leads to conversations with the base, who've been a partner in this grant all along, to identify how do we support you in your mission critical and take something off the plate that is difficult for you to do or a distraction. So as this progresses and we finalize that report and bring it forward, you'll get to see what we and the base have identified, how Lompoc can support the base. It is a critical part of our community. Many of you work for it, many of you are in the military, and many of you have been in the military. And this base is really important to our national defense as well as to our local community. We were back in DC last week, myself and our utility director, CJ Berry, for the Northern California Power Agency, which Lompoc is a member of. Lompoc, 50 years ago, or 53 years ago, was smart enough to become a founding partner in the NCPA. And this means we own our production of our electrical utility. And this is why the city of Lompoc, all the residents and businesses, pay much less than PG&E rates, because we own our production. And Northern California Power Agency does a federal policy where we go and talk to the decision makers about how they're appropriating funds that affect our electrical production facilities. So we were back east talking to them about the $8 billion that the infrastructure bill set aside for clean, green energy hydro hubs, because we are part owners in the Lodi Energy Center. And it is already transitioning towards a hydrogen clean energy facility, and we'd like to be one of those hubs. And that would be really important, not just to Lompoc for the longevity of that center and the energy it produces and the greenness of that energy, but to the entire region. So Lompoc plays a key role in helping the state go green. So the city's here to serve you. So let's talk about all the different departments and what's going on with them. Our police department, as Dean mentioned, recruitment is our top priority. We expect to have all 48 officer positions filled by end of year. In fact, I checked in yesterday, and there are 2 positions that are currently being vetted for, and we should have them in the academy by this summer, which is really exciting. Dispatch is a really important part of our public safety structure, and it is almost fully staffed. We only have 1 position open on it. Recently, 3 of those dispatchers received training and certification to perform duties of tactical dispatch. This will help us coordinate in major incidences, including natural disasters, with the rest of the county. Here's the warm and fuzzy of our police department. Our K-9 unit currently has a team with Officer David Garcia, and he's been with us since 2008. And K-9 Brahms is his partner, and he's been with us since 2019. And K-9 Brahms is a 5-year-old German Shepherd. But the exciting part is we now have Officer Alex Justice, who's been with us since 2014, has a new partner. Oz is an 18-month-old German Shepherd. And let's go back and see that video. And we acquired that team through a procurement from a nonprofit organization of $90,000 for a polymer detection canine and the training, as well as a vehicle specifically for that. So this dog will be able to help us identify ghost guns and help reduce that impact on the community. We also had a grant from 1805 that helped us obtain an unmanned aerial system drone. It has FLIR capabilities and meets FAA and the department policies. And it has 2 certified drone pilots seen here and a unit supervisor. The department also re-implemented the Special Investigations Unit that is helping us address some of our more serious and emerging crime issues in our community. And I want to congratulate them. We've seen recently many of the headlines of their investigations coming to fruition with arrests being made. So we know that having a fully staffed department and having the Special Investigation Unit helps us be more proactive. We've been in such a reaction mode, it's been difficult to complete these, but we're getting better. So here's a few photos of our recent graduations, promotions, and swearing-ins. And there's our new lieutenants as well. We added 2 lieutenant promotions, and we're very excited to have that new structure. Their leadership is going to make all the difference with having a fully staffed department. And then there's many changes at the fire department. We have lost Battalion Chief Brian Fetterman and the retirement of Battalion Chief Steve Terrones. But we hired Carol Brown as a new battalion chief, and we reassigned Dina Paschke, a battalion chief, to operations. We also had the promotion of Evan Nesby and Greg Herrera to engineer, and congratulate Nick Wimmel, Richard West, and Shane Green for completing their year-long probation. And the department continues to do its training and education in order to be present for our community. This was an exciting evening, the unveiling of Engine 51. It has a huge impact on our community, being able to provide safety for us as well as those working on it. And the Fleet Division really was very supportive in getting it put together and delivered so that we can respond to numerous deployments, not only locally, but in our mutual aid agreements. The next focus for the department will, of course, be on badly needed infrastructure improvements for our officers, both live and work environments. Across the state, we provide mutual aid to both Santa Barbara County and California Office of Emergency Services. Some of the more notable fires that we have responded to include the Towsley, Saddle Ridge, North, Crane, Tumbleweed, Santa Lucia, the Beckworth Complex, and Dixie. That was over 14-day employments each time, and local staff making up for that loss. Now, the great thing is we do get reimbursed, and if we have a major fire, we have great relationships and will receive mutual aid back to us. 1805 I mentioned earlier is a local Santa Barbara County nonprofit that grew out of the Thompson fires and supports local public safety groups. They've put us as a spotlight, so if you'd like to see some videos on some of our local public safety officers, go to their website and or follow them on social media. They also supported us with some grants, so we really just want to say thank you to them. Now we'll move on to the utility department. We have a lot of excitement going on. Some of it you've seen and felt, and some of it is unknown to you. We added a partnership with the Lompoc Library that distributed over 500 take-home water conservation kits to local students and provided $72,000 in rebates to customers who made energy or water conservation improvements to their homes or businesses. We deployed 2 nanogrid electric vehicle chargers for free charging at the Lompoc Valley Hospital, and we really appreciate that partnership with them and Santa Barbara County Air Pollution Control District. We also launched the LED program to replace your holiday lights, and we did over 440 strands to nearly 111 customers. And we want to thank Home Depot for partnering with us on that one. The electric department also was awarded first place from the American Public Power Association in its Safety Award for Excellence. We have completed the first physical security plan to evaluate the resiliency of Lompoc's electric grid for safety and reliability. We continue to assess the asset management programs and replace old poles, conductor cables, and convert the 4 kV to 12 kV. Congratulations to the department, it's outstanding. Our water department has adopted its sustainable groundwater plan for the San Ynez River groundwater basin, as well as adopting the urban water management plan. And we're in the process of exploring feasibility of a new water treatment plant. Our wastewater department processed over 1,089 million gallons of wastewater, both physically and biologically treated, and then discharged back into the San Ynez River. And 1,043 tons, 433 tons, that's a lot, of Class A or B quality biosolids which were treated and then hauled away. Our solid waste department is dealing with a new regulation for all California jurisdictions that requires us to provide organic waste collection services. So you'll be receiving notices about this at your business and residences that in our April billing that will explain it and tell you when it's going to start and how we will be accepting that. So it's a new program that we were mandated to institute. The broadband department did a survey last year in English and Spanish, and there's another one currently going on as we joined the countywide broadband consortium in order to identify and provide competitive options for broadband in the future. The pandemic really proved the need for that. There is also a panel discussion tonight on this item at El Camino Community Center at 5:30 p.m. So if it's something you want to contribute on the discussion, feel free to attend. We welcome everybody. That department also completed over 250 cameras being installed throughout the city to help us with public safety and traffic issues. So I want to thank them for that. Just this side of the 101. Well, throughout the pandemic, we strove to keep you informed and get the information flowing, and KPEG is one of those that does that for us. Our radio station is kpegradio.com on the internet now. So you don't only have to listen to it on the radio, you can listen to it anywhere in the world through that link. We also are able to do podcasts, and the community is welcome to come by and make a podcast of your own at TAP TV. All 3 TAP TV channels are now on the web as well at cityoflompoc.com/TAP TV, so you can watch anywhere in the world. TAP TV Studio is open to the public and is on the top floor of the Anderson Rec Center. We welcome community participation, whether you're a resident, a high school student, a nonprofit. If you want to get your message out, this is open to the community to utilize. Public Works. This image is a sewer main project manhole replacement. I was always curious as to how manholes went in, and evidently you put them in, then you pave over, and then they come back and they chip away the pavement to then put the concrete manhole we all see in place. I watched it happen on daily walks near my neighborhood and was fascinated that we paved over a manhole and then excavated it again to put in the actual hole, the lid to the hole. This is our public works staff. They are mighty but small, and they have done some amazing things over this past year. Key projects they're working on include the Vandenberg Village Sewer Interceptor. The county will be demolishing the bridge there at Floridel later this year, and we were trying to get the new sewer line installed in partnership with Vandenberg Village, which we have supported for a number of years, but this was a chance for an upgrade. And we also had roadway repairs being done around the community. And last but not least, we are managing the roadway repair and permit agreement for Strauss's wind blades going through town and providing that public safety on that project. The department is going to see a continuing challenge because we have aging fleet, aging facility, and lots of aging public infrastructure. But we lack adequate funding to address and maintain our road system. And rising construction costs, as we've all seen, are hitting even this sector that we're struggling to keep up with. And this is another area that we're recruiting skilled workers in. So if you're looking for an interesting and challenging job, go to the city website, please apply. We have lots of open positions that we'll talk about later. So aviation is working really hard to complete and obtain the bids in order to do an airfield electrical upgrade and runway rehabilitation project, and use that to apply for a $5 million grant from the FAA. So keep your fingers crossed. We really would like to see that upgrade, and those FAA dollars really mean we get that assistance. We normally couldn't do these upgrades. They are also working on replacing the visual approach slope indicator system, and will be taking down trees near the airport at the FAA expense beginning in June. And then Transit was awarded $417,000 in security equipment for a new transportation operations and fleet maintenance facility under Prop 1B grant funding, as well as receiving grant funds for the purchase of 4 new Colt buses. These opportunities are something our community uses on a regular basis and can improve the usage if we take advantage of these grants. So we're really looking forward to that. Urban forestry does a lot of work that you only see when the stuff's coming down. And part of what they did this past year was over 800 tree trims, 100 of those for electrical line conflicts. It's important to do, and we also had a lot of trees we needed to remove that were aging or part of a diseased process that we needed to eliminate. But the exciting replacement is we worked between urban forestry and park maintenance and obtained a grant for 65 trees that were placed by over 100 volunteers and staff on Arbor Day at River Bend last month, and I want to thank everybody who worked on that. It was awesome and amazing to see that many volunteers come out and plant trees. I'm looking forward to seeing that grove really develop. Some of them went in at River Park and others at River Bend. Now for one of my favorite facilities in the community. The library is near and dear to my heart. I grew up in the library in my hometown, and this is a place where you have everyone come in the community. There are very few people who don't utilize our library. This past year, there was over $87,000 in grants for adult and family literacy, reading kits, materials, and programming. They adapted to mostly virtual, with some self-directed programs in the library and some take home and make opportunities like the one you see there on the left. They also purchased new furniture from a trust fund that was set up and allowed to promote social distancing and private desks compared to the big long tables that used to be there. They worked on creating a new library catalog that was easier to navigate. They also filled all the vacant positions and trained those new staff. There are some challenges. That library is over 50 years old and has some issues, and we are going to need to address those because, again, this is one of the most used facilities in our community. There's additional need for 2 more librarians for outreach and for our teens. It is a very good and popular location for after school for our teens, so we want to make sure that it continues to be that and look for ways to impress it. And then again, until this year, the budget for books and other materials had been stagnant for over 20 years. So we're excited to be able to support the library and look to ways to do more of that. There we go. Am I fighting you guys? All right, I'll let you do it. All right, the bookmobile. We were the first community in Santa Barbara County to have a bookmobile, and this is an amazing mobile facility. It's been with us for 7 years, since March of 2016. Over 622 library cards have been issued from this. Over 36,875 books checked out in that 7 years. A total of 7,690 miles driven, and over 600 programs have been delivered over those 7 years. I think that it is amazing to be able to go to the neighborhoods and go to the Y and go to the Boys and Girls Club and really put books in the hands of our kids. The biggest program it had was this past year at Old Town's Trick or Treat. They had 672 people pass through the bookmobile and gave out over 300 Halloween pencils and 372 Halloween glow-in-the-dark bookmarks. So thank you for supporting this. It is something when I see the surrounding communities talk about adding their bookmobile and it's a van. I am very proud of the fact that this is a full-fledged bookmobile that you can go in and sit and have programs inside of it. It really is a mobile library. Community development is an integral part, and a lot of the things that you see done are planning and building, but One of the things I'm most proud about is our Lompoc Home Buyers Assistance Program. It has assisted this year of 3 low-income households purchasing their first home with loans of $65,000 and closing cost grants of $7,500, all using local lenders and escrow companies. And the program is in the process of assisting another 3 families this year. Since its inception in 2016, 56 low-income first-time homebuyer households have been assisted with this program. Safe Parking is a new project for this community to help address just one of the homeless avenue issues in our community. The New Beginnings Counseling Center took over an I Street location and improved it in order to provide support for vehicular homelessness. It is a very strict and intense program that those parking in the facility must follow a certain set of rules. Since they opened in early 2022, 21 individuals have been served. 2 have actively been placed, one a family of 9. So this does make a difference. They have joined the chamber and are looking to find additional safe parking locations. So if you as a business or a nonprofit have a parking lot that you feel would be supportive of this program and want more information, please reach out to New Beginnings. This is just one of a multiple layer where we help individuals get off the streets and into housing. Community development block grants are really important parts of what the Community Development Division does. This past year, over 2,892 Lompoc low-income individuals received over 11,073 units of service for anything from food and shelter to emergency housing repair to youth and senior scholarships at our recreation program. We also had public facilities improved by the CDBG block grants, addressing ADA issues at Beatty Park with new park lighting along the pathways, accessibility curb ramps, and parking lot improvements. And Thompson Park will also get additional ADA playground equipment and resurfacing for an all-inclusive play area. And then there were very specific CDBG programs for COVID dollars that we were provided. There were 2 programs in particular. We had the Lompoc Utility Grant Assistance Program. That assisted 1,269 non-duplicated persons affected by COVID with grants paying over 1,083 months of delinquent utility bills. The other program, Access Lompoc, allowed us to purchase 2 industrial-sized pressure washers to disinfect public use places and software that allowed the human services programs to provide a pathway for application and access to those funds, making it easier for our very small staff to administrate oversight of this. Our Parks and Rec division used to be 2 divisions, and we merged them this past year. So they've accomplished a lot, again, with a lot of change going on. Our youth and teen programs are back in full force. Our aquatics department had over 13,423 lap swims, 1,090 swim lessons just since last June. There have been 1,566 passports issued out of the Anderson Rec Center, and you've had classes anywhere from cooking to canvas painting for kids to pottery and martial arts. We had the first Dunkin' for Pumpkins event this past year, and a return of the July 4th event at Ryan Park. And get your tickets. The upcoming Mother-Son Luau is on sale, so don't forget to get your tickets for that. Our senior services here at the Dewey Center are back. We have Tai Chi, painting, and more going on. And facility rentals are back up and running. We had nearly 136 total facility rents out of the Dewey Center here for nonprofit and private events, and 222 rentals of the Anderson Rec facility, including 10 blood drives. Prop 68 gave us an opportunity to submit our College Park skate park for a revamp, and we were awarded $3.6 million, and we will be making improvements to the skate park itself, but adding a playground area, a basketball court, picnic area, landscaping, and much needed lighting and security cameras. Beatty Park's fitness and playground area opened last March, and we've also been busy trying to clean up City Hall. Many of you may have noticed the new olive trees we planted. If you've been out to River Park, you've seen the new RV sites being converted in their ampage, as well as adding new spaces. And our Make a Difference Day, again, was really impressive, especially coming out of the pandemic, with over 100 volunteers helping improve our parks. So we thank, again, the volunteers willing to come out. We returned the Lompoc Outdoor Community Market to our community last April, and in its first 6 months, it averaged 86% capacity, which exceeded the highest estimate staff provided at 70% operational capacity. It is great every Saturday to see this event going on and seeing our community get out and reconnect. As we come out of the pandemic, we really need that opportunity to get out and socialize in an open air fashion. So thank you for participating and supporting that. Oh, the planning department. Everybody wants to know about housing, right? So we have some new housing that has been approved. River Terrace is going to be a gated 257 residential unit project. It is in the process of going through planning and finishing up their building permits. It will be there off East Laurel Avenue over behind the wine ghetto. And we expect the construction to start around 2023, 2024. All of you are always curious what's going on there, what's going to be built there. Well, there is new software available through the city website called Story Maps, where you can go in and figure out what's going on, and it will give you details. And so we'll be posting that to link to the homepage as we get that set up, but it'll allow you to look at what commercial projects are going, where they're going on, and then stop being the, did you hear? What about? Is that really? Speaking of, is that really? We have Human Bean. It's under construction this year, and we've already had Dutch Brothers open. And yes, Aldi and Boot Barn are coming very soon. But what I really want to thank is all of the locally owned businesses. It's great to have these chains come in and fill those big spaces, but all of you that are locally owned businesses, restaurants, mom and pop stores, thank you. I know how hard the pandemic has been on you. I want to thank all of you that have patronized them. And I want to thank the Chamber for all the programs you put together and the nonprofits to support them. So again, Lompoc really comes out and supports its own. We love these chains. We love the ability to shop where everybody else in the U.S. gets to shop, but really what makes us special are those locally owned businesses. Oh, the topic on everybody's mind, right? Not really. Is our cannabis update. So our current statistics are we have about 63 applications submitted. 42 of those licenses have been issued. 26 of those operations are up and running, open. Only 15 of those are retail. Measure Q passed with nearly 76%, and the collection will begin this month. And we really thank you for voting in support of that. There are new projects on the horizon that will bring jobs to the community, several storage labs and office facilities, as well as processing and manufacturing are going through the planning department and are breaking ground. You may have seen some of the activity already going on Central Avenue. And we did approve cannabis events 2 a year. If you're interested in what those would look like and where they can be held, more information is on the city clerk's page under commercial cannabis on the city website. I kept mentioning we have these open positions. We do. And I'd like to share with you a little video from the Recs department about what's available for those interested in being lifeguards.
So I would say the pros of working here is a flexible schedule that fits my hours, as well as building a strong community between both the patrons here and the workers that you have.
For a first job, it's an excellent first job. A lot of responsibility, you learn a lot. But for an older person, there's still plenty of challenges and plenty of rewards. And it allowed me to have a
That is a longer video. It is on our city website if you'd like to see the full thing and see who all's in it. But what I will say is we have met lots of individuals that started out as a local lifeguard and have stepped into other roles within the city and or seen it as a step into good training for the rest of their career, no matter what they were doing. Multiple departments have openings. Some are at entry level, some are experienced in degreed positions. Others, we will give you tuition reimbursement as you grow, or we'll send you off for training if you're interested in being a part of our electrical department. We need a code enforcement individual. We have Parks and Recs. So there is something for everyone at City Hall, and it's a great career, and I can see many of our staff in the room that have been there for quite a while and grown from a starter position, maybe as an administrative assistant, into retiring from us after 30 years. So I welcome you to visit our website and check out the positions that are open and recommend them, whether to seniors getting ready to graduate who maybe don't know what they want to do, but this is a chance to explore something, or you've changed careers. You're retired or quit the job or lost your job during the pandemic, and this is an opportunity to switch gears. That moment you've all been waiting for, me to stop talking and let you have the floor and ask a couple of questions, and Dean and I will make the best of trying to answer it. If we don't have an answer, we'll get back to you. So we're going to open the floor to questions. So if you have one, we'll do a couple. Someone have a question? Yes, ma'am.
We were speaking about the kind of beefing up our police force. What's going on with the gang situation, and do we have gang units?
The Special Investigation Unit is part of overseeing that. It is a new approach. Before we did have a gang specific, but this team is the one overseeing that. It is something that the department has continued to keep an eye on throughout the pandemic and is ramping up its partnership with community members, first on prevention. So there's different organizations in the community that we weren't proactively able as a police department to be a part of and kind of make those community connections that are our ears and eyes on the ground as to what might be happening. That's being reestablished as we are fully staffed, so that will help. And then on the back side of it is the gang activity that we are aware of, they're able to tackle, and if you are or know of and are willing to provide that information, it's one more opportunity for us to get out in front of it. So again, it was a couple of years where we were having trouble being proactive on it, but we are at least finally fully staffed and rebuilding those community connections and those programs that allow us to be proactive. So hopefully you'll begin to see a reduction in a year to 2 years. It's going to take a while for those relationships, but anyone who does know, have connections, or want to support, reach out. We have different organizations that are partnering to prevent the gang activity, and then once it's begun, help them migrate out if they want. And then if you have information, please reach out. It is something that the staff in PD strive to protect your identity so that you don't yourself become a target, but they're working on it. Am I good, Chief? Awesome. Yes, ma'am.
A question. We are a community that we build a lot on kids' activities, sports especially. As a soccer coach, softball coach, one thing that we are encountering that I've noticed the past 2 years is lack of field, usage of fields. I guess the school district has limited also their fields to not being able to utilize them anymore. And also the quality of the fields. It's so hard to have the kids run or with uneven areas, not even grass, and lack of bathrooms as well, porta potties. And I know that we're all, each individual groups, you know, the soccer and LGS and football and school and the city, but is there a way where the city can really be more proactive in bringing everybody together to facilitate, to provide restrooms for the kids when they're at practice, provide better fields, and as well as our parks? I do see that you are working in infrastructure regarding parks, but also the restrooms. So that's one of the biggest concerns that I'm seeing being out there as a coach, and would like to see more of the city being proactive with the other basically people in charge of these fields.
And you're absolutely right. So that's why it's been really important for us to start to be able to afford more park staff to begin with, right? That's part of the maintenance part of it, is we at one time only had 6 members of a parks department with over 200 acres of parks. So all we were able to do is get a park mowed, get around through all the other parks, and have to get back and get it mowed. So getting us fully staffed so that we can start to do more than just basic maintenance is a step forward. We also have our Parks and Rec Commission, and having that fully staffed will make a difference in us being able to hear better from the community. That group is designed to be an avenue directly to council for things we as staff or electeds might be missing out on, so please take advantage of that. The other part that you've seen in the past, and we're hoping to start to be able to do that again, is utilizing CDBG funds to improve restrooms at different locations, and then identifying those needs is part of a proposal that's working its way through staff and will come back to council for a parks plan, a full-blown maintenance and improvement plan so that we can understand where we are with all of our parks. By only having each park randomly show up, it's hard to prioritize, but staff's working on a proposal to come forward, do the research, prioritize, deliver a plan of what parks need what that cost might be, so that we are shovel ready when opportunities, for instance, right now, appropriations notifications are coming from the federal government, and we were only able to submit for a single park because it was the only shovel-ready program that we have. But if we have a master plan that identifies everything and lines out the costs and has the EIRs done already, then we'll be ready every time there's an option for a Prop 68 grant or for county monies or for state and federal that we need to take advantage of, because you and I both know with over 200 acres of parks, it's going to be really hard to come up with the funds out of our regular budget. So it's going to have to be a partnership with funds available. But most of those funds require shovel-ready projects, and we need to get to that point. So staff's really working towards that, and council will be seeing a proposal in the near future to move forward on that. And I see our city manager coming up to add to.
Of course, I always like to talk about the money. So one of the things that we were able to do, I think I missed it on my presentation, is we're able to get 2 really big lawnmowers, which was going to help our parks department a lot. They'll be able to mow instead of taking twice as long, it'll be half as long, so they'll have more resources to actually go out and make the parks look better.
And I'm sure there was something I missed in your laundry list of things, but happy to sit down and put together your concerns and priorities and make sure that staff's aware of them. So thank you for that. Another question? Yes, ma'am.
So a couple of things, actually. Is there an update on the Village Inn, the hotel that's coming?
We wouldn't know anything about that. That's outside the city limits.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay, and then, my second question is outside the city limits.
Yeah, it's state of the city. So we only know the details on what goes on inside the city limits. I'm sure there are people here who have a good idea of what's going on in the unincorporated area, but you know, that's not our hat. So sorry about that. Yes.
Do you have the information on what's going on up at Lookout Point?
I do know that is a Parks and Trails Committee that is working on that. I know it's in the unincorporated area, and they're working on that and have reached out. I know working with our new 3rd District Supervisor, Hartman.
Is there any information on when their code is going to start his housing project at the Y?
No, that is unfortunately a negotiation that's going on, and because of the lawsuit that's currently under negotiation, we're not allowed to discuss that, but we would like to happen as soon as possible. It's progressing well, as the city manager's just mumbled. One more question. Anybody? Seeing no hands, I want to thank everybody for being here. We have the new fire truck out front, and we also have our newest K9 team out front, so please stop by and enjoy them and get some warm and fuzzy from our new police dog. And since we swore him in under COVID protocol, we're going to celebrate our new city manager and the cupcakes we normally would have had here. So be sure and take a cupcake with you before you leave. I just want to say as a final note, how much I appreciate our rich history, what you've done to contribute to that, our exciting future. We have turned a corner. We are beginning to make the improvements we've all been wanting to see in our community, and we're going to keep going, and council's committed to supporting those, and our new city manager is too. And I just want to thank you all for being here today, for the chamber for being our partner in hosting this, to all of the city staff that contributed to this. Can I get all my city staff to raise their hand? Thank you all for the hard work you do in keeping our community running smoothly. To the other representatives that are here, let us know what you need to know to help our community back at the state and the federal level, and we thank you for your representation. Now go out and have a great day, and let me know what we can do for you, and we'll let you know what you can do for us. Have a great day.